The 2020 Olympics was held in 2021. If that's not crazy enough, there were quite a few moments in the 2020 Olympics that took place in Tokyo. From a complete beatdown of country to an under-23 soccer player's experience, here are the craziest moments in the Olympics for soccer this year. Before we get into it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks. Let's get into it now. A goalless match. Spain and Egypt played out a goalless draw during their opening match of the Tokyo Olympics. Spain named a strong team that featured multiple players who had featured at the European Championships, including Pedri and Unai Simon. Egypt, meanwhile, was without their talisman, Mohamed Salah, after he was refused permission to join. Both teams had their chance in a tense opening half, with Dani Ceballos hitting the post with an effort from distance. And while there were still chances in the second half, the game ended goalless. The worst start ever. There was a shock as Australia beat Argentina 2-0, with the latter suffering a bizarre red card to Francisco Ortega. The midfielder was booked for a foul and then was quickly shown a second yellow from the resulting free kick for jostling in the box. Argentina started the Tokyo Olympics off with a loss and saw themselves having to get a good result against both Egypt and Spain. Fernando Batista couldn't have asked for a worse start to the match. Australia took the lead after just 13 minutes after some poor marking and defending by the two-time champions. A low pass sent into the penalty area went past the Argentine backline and fell to Lachlan Wales as he would score to give Australia the 1-0 lead. It was a lackluster performance by Argentina with little to no cohesiveness and shape throughout the match. Francisco Ortega was sent off for Batista's team after receiving 2 yellow cards, the second being a little harsh by the referee. Ortega, who was already on a yellow, was given a red after a shove inside the penalty area as a corner kick was about to be taken. The second half saw Australia score the second goal. A brilliant strike by Marco Tilio from the edge of the penalty area beat Ledesma, who was in goal. Poor marking on the edge of the area by Argentina as Tilio was unmarked for the goal. Mexico versus France 4-1. Mexico beat France 4-1 on Wednesday as the men's football tournament kicked off at Tokyo 2020. After a stalemate in the first half, goals from Alexis Vega, Sebastian Cordova, Uriel Antuna, and Eduardo Aguirre gave the Mexicans the perfect start to their Olympic journey. France, without many of its biggest stars after the participation in Euro 2020, did find a goal through Andre Pierre Signa, but must now pick themselves up after a humiliating defeat in Group A's opening game, where Richarlison struck a stunning hat-trick inside 30 minutes as defending Olympic champions Brazil beat Germany 4-2 in their opening Group D game of the Olympics. Brazil should have had the outcome decided by the break given the number of chances they created, but Germany struck twice in the second half despite going down to 10 men in the 63rd minute. Richarlison opened the scoring, driving home the second attempt in the 7th minute before heading Brazil into a 2-0 lead. He completed his hat-trick with a fine strike in the 30th minute with the Germany defense in chaos. A Germany side without a single Bayern Munich player, a rarity for the country, lost their opening match of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics versus Brazil 4-1. Let's look at some short observations from the game. There was a complete domination by Brazil in the first half. The Brazilians turned on their Samba flair with an inspired first half performance in which the Dani Alves captain team annihilated Germany. There were shades that a like-for-like revenge from a certain 7-1 game could be achieved. Germany was lucky to not lose, given the large volume of chances conceded. Florian Muller pulled off a decent display despite letting in 4 goals with a good penalty save and several other goal line scrambles. It could have easily been 3 or 4 more. Nadim Amriri was a bright spot for Germany. The winger scored a decent outside-the-box goal and was a general threat with his superb agility and high technical ability. Germany was continuously caught on the counterattack. Whether this is to do with their goal deficit or not, Germany was time and time again caught on the break. Overall, a better second half than the first half for Germany. While they did start the game poorly, their second half was actually quite good. Playing with 10 men for a long period, the Germans would have won the second half 2-0 if not for an all-out attack in hopes of another opportunity near the end of the game. A much better showing in the second half with braver play and a tighter backline. Romania beats Honduras with an own goal. Romania made a winning return to Olympics men's soccer after a 57-year dry spell. On returning to Olympic soccer, a 1-0 victory over Honduras was clinched by Elvin Olivia's own goal on Thursday at the Ibirioca Kashima Stadium. Honduras finished 4th in the competition at the 2016 Olympics. Not golden U.S. woman. The United States women's soccer team came to the Tokyo Olympics in search of the gold medal. It's the prize the team always expects, the reward it always believes it deserves. This time, though, the opponents were better, the performances were worse, and so were the results. Until Thursday, they needed one last win, one last stand in the bronze medal game to make something out of what could have been nothing. The medal arrived in due course, delivering with a 4-3 victory against Australia, powered by 2 of the team's oldest players, Megan Rapinoe and Carly Lloyd. They both scored 2 goals in what might have been their final game in a major tournament, and yet even then, it still nearly slipped from their hands, as Australia cut a 3-goal lead to 2, and then 1, and then pressed to erase it completely as the clock ticked into stoppage time. That bronze means so much, the United States captain Becky Sauerbrunn said. It feels like we really had to earn that thing, and we're really proud of it. For the U.S. players, arriving on the heels of a 2019 World Cup championship and eager to prove that their medal-free visit to the 2016 Rio Games was an aberration, the team landed in Japan more than a week before the Olympics and talked of nothing but chasing the gold from the start. The players had warned their coach, Vlatko Adoniski, that his first major tournament would not be like the string of easy exhibitions and risk-free friendlies that had made up most of the first year and change of his tenure. It's different, he said. The team's veteran players had warned him in private meetings before the Olympics. They were trying to prepare me. Obviously, we wanted to get a gold medal, the U.S. player said. Everyone wants to get a gold medal. Americans love gold. The fact is, we potentially didn't deserve to get a gold medal. We had to change the goal, and it became, let's get that bronze. Only a bronze was possible at that point, and so the United States dutifully hopped on a bus and went to Kashima to go about trying to collect it. 2021 Olympics. The heat was on. The Canadian and Swedish women's soccer teams requested the Olympic final be rescheduled due to extreme heat and humidity projected for the morning of the game, according to multiple reports. The teams are currently scheduled to play on Friday at 11 a.m. Tokyo time, 10 p.m. Eastern Thursday. Canada Soccer is also in supporting of changing the kickoff time of the gold medal match at the Tokyo 2020 Women's Olympic Football Tournament to ensure the health and safety of our players, Canada Soccer said in a statement. Canada upset the United States in the semifinals this week, while Sweden beat Australia. The outdoor events at the Tokyo Games have been met with temperatures in the 100s this week. Pedri's crazy first season. In an exclusive interview with Tokyo 2020, Spain's teenage footballing sensation, Pedri talks about the 7th August Olympic final against Brazil, his run to the semis of the UFO Euro with Spain's senior team, and his extraordinary breakout season with club giants FC Barcelona. When he steps onto the field at the Yokohama International Stadium this Saturday, Barcelona star Pedri will be playing his 73rd game of the season. No one has played more games than him in European football this term, and all this comes extraordinarily in his first season as a professional. When asked about this fact, the midfielder from Canary Islands laughed. The truth is that everything I'm experiencing is crazy. A quick review of his debut season is revealing. He made his first appearance at FC Barcelona, nailed down an undisputed place in the starting XI, placed in every competition, and won the Copa del Rey, Spain's domestic club cup competition. He made his debut on the Spanish under-21 team, debuted 2 for the Spanish senior team, reached the semi-final of the European Star-Studded Cup of Nations, and was named the best young player of that tournament. In the past month, here in Japan, he also made his debut on the Olympic team. And now, at the end of all that, he's going for gold in an Olympic final. I'm not one to stop and think about it, Pedri said, but I try to enjoy every day that I'm living because it's amazing. During the summer, many 18-year-olds in Spain are concerned mostly with getting their driver license. Not Pedri. He'll be fighting alongside his teammates for a chance to return home with an Olympic gold. Spain's first hosting the games in 1992. We've already won the silver, but we won't settle for that, he said, clearly driven to finish his marathon year with a strong final push. We want more, and gold would be a source for pride for me, my family, and all of Spain. It has been up and down excitement for the Olympics generally. Tell us what your highest points have been from the soccer matches, and let us know down in the comments below. Now, don't forget to subscribe and smash the like. See you in the next video. Take care.